I knocked on the door and this woman answered it. And she had all her hair tied back. She was properly like aggressive. And she went, "What?" And I said, "My name's Beechy and I'm like an undercover vicar because I don't wear a dog collar. And I've come to tell you about a church we're planting." And she looked me in the eye and said, "I don't want some bloke in a dress telling me how to live my life." Although it may have been a bit more sweary than that. And she slammed the door. So I walked off a bit shaken. And as I'm walking off, this inner voice says to me, "Knock on the door again." I'm like, "You're joking." This guy, "Knock on the door, knock on the door, knock on the door." I'm like, oh. I turned around, grabbed my guts, took a deep breath, knocked on the door again. She threw the door open. She was in tears. And she went, "I've told you once, I've told you twice, my good man," or words to that effect, "please leave my premises," you know. But it was a bit more full on than that. Slams the door. So I was really shaken, and it really kind of like, I just don't want to do this stuff anymore. 2 weeks later, we were walking around the estate, prayer walking, and this inner voice says, "Knock on number 5. I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me." And it's going on and on and on. It's like in my head, not an audible voice, but this overwhelming compulsion to do it. I can remember walking up the path with my heart in my chest. And I knocked on the door and she opened it and she went, "Oh, it's you, love. Come in. I've been trying to find you." I thought, that's weird. I go in the house, I sit down, and she said, and it's terribly poor. No carpet, bare walls, old chairs. Kid sitting in a corner rolling a spliff. She says, "Do you want a cup of tea?" "Yeah, I'd love a cup of tea, nice and strong," I said. "Can I have a couple of sugars?" And she went, "That's really bad for you, you know." And I can remember thinking, but your kid's rolling the spliff. Like, what is this, the sugar police? And then she sat down and she said, "There's something I need to tell you." And I said, "What's that?" She said, "You know when you knocked on the door before?" I went, "Yeah." She said, "I was really cross when you knocked again." I went, "You seemed cross the first time. You seemed really upset the second time." And she said, "Yeah." She said, "Actually, I was raped by my brother years ago and it had all got on top of me. And I was working for my other brother in a debt collecting business and I just wanted to die." She said, "This was the day I planned to kill myself. And on my bed, I had litres of vodka. I've got aspirin, Anodine, all pills from all over the place. I was just in a neck of them all, down as much vodka as I can and die." And she said, "But something happened. You knocked on the door when I told you to sling your hook. And I shut the door. I said a prayer because I can remember when we were at school, we used to pray. And I said, 'God, if you were there, please send that man back.' And she said, 'You knocked on the door.' And so I'm here."
Hey, I'm Grace. As a charity, our videos at Streams are entirely funded by donations, big and small, from individuals like yourself. So if you've been impacted by our platform, we'd be really grateful if you might consider giving what you can to join us in bringing people hope on their toughest days. Just head to the link in our bio.